Welcome back to Stubby Stampers. We'd like to show you 3 embossing techniques with 3 different powders to kind of give you some more ideas on how to use your powders. This card was made using the white embossing powder. I used it on glossy paper, so I want to share that technique with you. I hope this will show up on the camera. I'm going to try to get it to where it can be seen. On this, I just took the glossy paper and I embossed my image with the white powder, so it's white on white. So let me just show you a little bit on how that works. I'm using clear ink as my base. Get my stamp well inked with a clear embossing ink. Stamp it. Again, I know that's hard to see, but it is just the image is in clear. Then I take the white powder, put on it, pull your powder off. Now, I'm going to heat this up and see if you can see it happening, and then we'll go to the one that I already have prepared. Okay. I hope you can see that, but again, let's go to the other one that I showed you earlier. This one's already been embossed white on white. Now, to get the color, I'm going to take just some ink pads, and again I prefer using drier ink pads for some of these projects where you just smear the ink on. It looks like you're just kind of messing up your image there. I'm just going to use the green and the brown as I did on that card. I'm going to cut the image out, so I'm not trying to make it stay in a certain area. Now that's pretty well messing up that white ink, but watch what happens. You take a tissue and you rub that, and it blends those colors really, really nice, and the white pops out. It gives it a lot of pop, so I would cut this image out and then mount it on my card. That's just a nice technique, and you have a raised image when you get through. Again, the card, I did the same thing with the friends, the white powder on glossy paper, and then I just stained the background, but here's the same image that I showed you just now. So that's one technique. Let me go to another one that's a very simple technique. This is a card that we made to show a monogrammed card. You can use the little block letters that we have, but I'm just going to kind of walk through this one. A lot of times you don't have all the different color powders that you'd like to have. Don't discount this idea. Take your paper and stamp it in your clear ink, and then emboss it, and it looks like you used a deeper color of your the card. It really gives it an elegant look. So what I did on this is the background on this particular card, but what I did on this is I stamped it with clear ink, put clear powder on it, and when you embossed it, it looks like you had a deeper navy powder that you put on it, but it just really makes it quite classy. So that was the background. Used again on the card. The same thing on the little square. I did the clear ink on the gray square, and did the same to the initial in the middle. So that's another fun technique, and it makes a real good looking card. And then the final one is one that we have shared for years, and it's just kind of a plaything. It works for you most of the time. Sometimes it may not work as well, but people have always asked us, how'd you do that magic? So I'm going to just kind of remind some of you that might have seen this, and maybe teach some of you that never have seen it. I embossed the butterflies in gold, and you need a nice thick ink. It can be your pigment ink, it can be a real good wet clear embossing ink, but I just have embossed the butterflies in gold. And then I took a real wet marker and I want you to see how much fun this is. Here's one I've done earlier. Just take my purple marker. It seems like the darker colors do better on this technique, but I enjoy playing with any of them just as long as I have a good wet marker to do it. So I'm just going to color on top of my butterfly, and it really looks like I am messing that up. Should have taken time to fill all that in, but I think I got a quicker way to fix it. So I'm going to now take my heat gun. Now that's just been colored in. It's a little bit wet, which is good. I think you'll get a better image of technique out of this if you'll do it right after you color it in. So I'm going to just reheat the embossing back. Don't overheat or you'll lose your embossing. But what it does is makes the ink evaporate off of the embossing that you've done earlier. So that's kind of a fun thing. You might try that if you have embossed and you feel like you've messed up your embossing before you toss it. Why don't you hit it again with your heat gun, and that might just make the image pop out for you. Here's a card that we did that has all these butterflies done the same way. The purple one, and we just cut around the wings and mounted it on a textured piece of paper, put glitter around the outside, and just created a fun spring card. But that's a good technique to enjoy and play with, and just try it with some of the projects that you work with. Thank you again.